Fronteras reporters Jill Replogle and Jose Luis Jimenez have just come back from a 9-day reporting trip in the Baja California Peninsula. Jill will be producing 3 stories from the trip, and Jose wrote a blog along the way. And they're here with us today to tell us a little bit about their trip. Thank you both for being here. Jose, I want to begin with you. So what was your overall impression of this region?
Well, first of all, we started off in San Diego and made our way all the way down, about 3/4 of the way to the peninsula, to the surfing village or fishing village of San Juanico, depending on who you are. I traveled extensively between Tijuana and Ensenada, so I knew that region well, really not south of Ensenada. And especially in Baja California Sur, which is the second state on the peninsula, it is very desolate. There's hardly any development. Kind of reminds me of what California must have looked like hundreds of years ago. I was also impressed by the Sea of Cortez. It is beautiful, it is blue, it is bright, it is gorgeous. I definitely want to go back there. And I also was impressed by the amount of agriculture that is on the peninsula, especially in the southern end, because the southern end is very dry and there's not a lot of water, but there's still a lot of agricultural production going on down there. So those are kind of my impressions at the top.
And you met a lot of people along the way. Tell us a little bit about the people you met.
Yes, along the way, we obviously spent a lot of times in hotels and in restaurants. We met a lot of waiters. We obviously walking around with a camera, people come up to you, so we met a lot of locals. The overall impression is, I think Jill mentioned this in kind of some of our chats, is people are familiar with tourists down there. Even in the most smallest town, you see signs in English. People are kind of expecting tourists to come in, so they tend to cater to them.
Now, Jill, you're going to be bringing some stories to us about your travels, about the people you met. Tell us about the first one you're working on.
The first one I'm working on is, as we know, there's the real estate bust also affected Mexico greatly. There were a lot of American investors who were hoping to buy their little piece of paradise on the coast. And as the real estate market died and just really ground to a halt, environmentalists are sort of breathing a sigh of relief, and they've been able to preserve some really sensitive coastal lands. So we interviewed a man named Saúl Alarcón. He's the executive director of Terra Peninsular, which is an environmental organization there. And he told us about an area south of Ensenada that they're working with the federal government to protect. And we'll hear from him.
One of the most important sites that we work in is San Quintín Bay. It's one of the last wetlands in North America with, I would say, 80–90% of the habitat is still in good shape, and is one of the safe havens for migratory birds in North America.
Wow, it's a beautiful area. Now, also, you traveled to a popular surf town as well that's going through some development issues. What did you learn there?
Yeah, so as Jose mentioned, it's called San Juanico. The surf bay is called Scorpion Bay. That's how most surfers in Southern California probably know it. It's nearly 1,000 miles down the peninsula. It's pretty remote. And I just want to play this one clip of a man that we interviewed there who's been camping there since the 70s. He goes by Lee of the Sea, and this is why this place is so popular.
The place, as far as I'm concerned, is when it's on, it's as good a wave as there is in the world.
And we will be learning more about him as well in the days ahead. Now, Jill, you have a third story, and this one's about wine. Tell us more.
Yeah, the Guadalupe Valley, which is near Ensenada, has really been booming with wineries for the last 15–20 years or so. But they're small scale, and they've mostly been sort of experimenting and kind of, learning as they go. And now there's sort of a real effort to professionalize the wine industry. We interviewed a man named Dr. Victor Torres, and he has a PhD in winemaking from the University of Bordeaux. He teaches at the university in Baja California, in Ensenada, at the winemaking school. And so we're looking at how they're trying to professionalize and what are some of the challenges that they face.
Great, Jill and Jose. We look forward to seeing your stories. And Jose, if people want to catch up on your blog, where can they see it?
Yeah, it's on our website, fronterasdesk.org/Baja Trip.
Great. Thank you both for being here.